want to talk about you right now. And I may not have actually met you yet, but just think that if you actually pulled the trigger and you reached out to me since you're so close to me right now, what could happen? What would happen if you even got a couple sessions in? I work with people that have a low sense of self where they like themselves, but they don't really believe high in themselves. I work with a lot of people that want a relationship so badly and they're not good at it. So I help a lot of people get to know themselves so much more and look to see what is not necessarily just going wrong, but what is happening in your actions that kind of slow down the success. One client of mine, she dated quite a bit. And there's no good men around. It's rough. I didn't understand how hard it was. But when a person has to date a lot of people or go for a lot of interviews, they're the common denominator. And once I started to explore her habits and what she was doing, I'm like, woman, hello, you're this. And then she just started to realize. And she said, you're right. It really is about me. And I'm like, yep. And years ago, a cute story, probably 25 years ago, a client came in. I've known her for a little bit, not much. And she was very, very stressed in life. She was yelling at her ex-husband and her kids, her two boys. Now, I'm an adult woman. I don't yell at anybody. I'm probably pretty good at communication. That's why. So she sat down and I looked at her and I said, this is going to be interesting because once you figure this out, it's actually going to be something that you're just going to laugh about and it's just going to go away. And she looked at me and she rolled her eyes up at me. Yeah, she rolled her eyes up at me like I didn't know what I was doing. I thought that was cute. So then this is why I've gotten so strong in my coaching. I said, well, you're doing this, this, and this, and this. And she's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not. And I'm like, okay, then go a little stronger, a little bit more meat on this bone so she can wrap her teeth around it. I said, no, I said, what's happening is you're doing this, 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 and this. And then she's like, nope, you're not reading me well. That's not me. So finally, I leaned back for a second and I'm like, no sugarcoating, Di. No sugarcoating. I leaned up and I said, it's this, 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 and this, and you've got to flat out own it. And she's just like, oh. And she looked around and she's like, again, she said, it's about me. And then she started laughing. Yeah, she started laughing. I was already laughing. And she leaned back and she let it go. She just let it go. Because the mind, the brain wants to know the answer. 2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 4 is 6. No, I'm sorry, 8. 8 and 8 is 16. And so once we can get the answer, then we can actually relax. And so she was blaming others, especially the ex and the kids and work and her job. But once she realized and got the answer she was able to move on. Her whole body relaxed. We both laughed at something 20 minutes before that. She was going to argue her point. And it was not her fault, not her responsibility. It was him and him, him, and possibly her. That's why you want to reach out to me. Because this arguing in your mind is habit forming. It's a negative that's going to look for negatives. Now, if you're positive, you're going to find positives. That's an option. But the negative you that comes out and gets stuck, that negative you is going to stay for a very long time until we actually break the cycle that you may be in that you don't even know. So, how do we go from here? Well, you reach out to me because I don't have your name and your number. So you can message me here. You can go to my website, Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, Link is below. And you can actually say for the very first time, Diane, you may be onto something. And I'm going to have the courage to reach out and see if you'll take me on as a client. Now, we can do 1 or 2 sessions or we can do a package. The key thing is right now is don't keep sitting in your dysfunction, in your problems, in your negative stories, blaming others when it's your life that needs to be changed by you. And there's a lot of people that say, it's my husband's problem, it's my wife's problems, it's because of my boss. And in a session, you're going to realize, no. It's going to be a you thing, and it's going to expand your consciousness. It's going to make you believe in yourself so much more that the little things you might be able to let go, the medium things you might be able to show up more emotionally centered, a stronger communicator, that you actually stay in the game until the game is finished, and or you can give yourself some walking papers. But to stay and whine, bitch, moan, and cry for others to see that and for nothing to be changed, that's a weak man's game. So I've given you a lot of meat on this bone. I'd like for you to think about it. All my sessions are on Zoom. You don't even have to spend any on gas. But I'll tell you one thing, every human is here, become better and better, stronger and stronger each and every day. And I'm going to help you with all that, but there's more. You're going to have the tools to show up and do your life so much stronger. And with that, take a couple deep breaths, maybe even 3 or 4. Realize how important you are and be important to yourself. I don't like people that sacrifice. I would leave, but I have children. I would leave, but this job that I can't stand, but my boss would be upset with me. Yeah, no, we're not living for others first. You got to make yourself happy. And then your body will be healthier. Your attitude will be much better. And for a lot of people, this is the kicker part, you won't age so fast. Why? Because you're not so, my bad. And I actually can be quite fun, quite entertaining. I'll tell you one thing, I will be the strongest coach and the one that will give you accountability until you can give yourself accountability. This one I can guarantee. So thank you. I am Diane Gazine at Healing Bodies, Healing Souls.